Hey there, Star Wars fans. This is Revenge of the Ren, back for another video today. And this one will be about Padme and proof how she is Force sensitive and what this could possibly lead us to. But before I start this video today, I would like to remind you to subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Make sure to turn your post notifications on so you know instantly when I post a new video. And go follow my Instagram if you have not already. Same name as this YouTube channel. So now to start this video, I am going to be talking about the genetics behind why Padme must be Force sensitive or a Force user, but she just doesn't know it, or she never got the chance to know it. So I'm going to start off by first making some pretty obvious assumptions. They're not facts, but they are assumptions. So we assume that being Force sensitive is a gene, and it runs genetically in a family. It's passed down from your parents to you. And there's proof of that from the Skywalkers. Luke is Force sensitive because of Anakin, but that is not true, but you'll learn later in this video why that is not true, but most people think it is that way. But there is proof because Luke and Leia are Force sensitive and their parents are Force sensitive. So we could make that assumption that being Force sensitive is a gene, and we can also assume that the Force sensitive gene runs on the X chromosome because both male and female are Force users, and females don't have the Y chromosome, so it can't run, the Force gene cannot run on the Y chromosome because then females couldn't be Force sensitive. So far we have assumed that being a Force user runs in the family, it's genetic, and we have also assumed that the Force gene is on the X chromosome. And now we are going to assume that being a Force user is a recessive trait. So that means that if you're a male, let's say, if your X chromosome has a Force user gene and your Y chromosome has a non-Force user gene, that means that you are a non-Force user, but you are a carrier of the gene. So now we could basically start where I'm trying to get at here. So now you see that A is the small letter A, which means recessive, is for carrying the Force. You are a Force user. And the big letter A means that you are a non-Force user. And you also see that XX means female and XY means male. So we are going to look at the Skywalker family tree. We're just looking at 4 people, and then we could maybe make some conclusions or assumptions. So first, we are going to look at Anakin. Anakin is a male, as you know, which means he has the chromosomes X and Y, and he is married to Padme, who is a female, and they had kids together. But Anakin here is a Force user, so we're going to give him the small letter A. Now, Anakin and Padme had children. They had children, Luke and Leia. Luke is a guy, XY chromosomes, and Leia is a girl, XX chromosomes. Now, they are both Force sensitive. We know that for a fact. That means Luke has a small a, and Leia has 2 small a's for her X chromosomes. Now, Anakin gave his Y chromosome to Luke. But where did Luke get his X little a chromosome? It must be from Padme. That's just a fact. So we know that Padme is at least a carrier of the Force user gene. That's just simple genetics. we know that. So Padme's parents, one of them had to have the Force user gene. Now Leia, as you can see, she gets one gene from her father, and the other one she gets from her mother. That means that Padme can either be X capital A, X little a, or X little a, X little a. This means that Padme must be a Force user, or she at least must be a carrier of the gene. Now, what is really the whole point of this? Now, we know that Padme must carry the gene. That means that if she were to have kids, which she did, there would be a 50% chance of her passing down the Force user gene if she was X capital A, X little a. And now we know that one of her parents had to have the X little a Force user gene, which means one of them carried the Force gene or was totally Force sensitive with X little a and X little a. Now, her parents could have been X little a, and X big A, and Y. That is a possibility. So one of her parents could have been a full Force user, a Jedi, and one of her parents could have just been a regular old guy. But this is unlikely, because I feel like we would have known or Anakin would have known that Padme's parents were Force users. So most likely, Padme's parents were X capital A, X little a, and X capital A Y, which means that her mother was a carrier of the gene and her father was just a regular old guy. And now when they had Padme, she probably got the X little a gene from her mom and the X big A gene from her dad. Therefore, she is a woman and she is carrying the Force user gene. Now, what does this really all mean in the long run? It could be that Lucasfilm or Disney really won't even figure this out. They won't realize this. They could turn this into like a book about her parents or a book about her being a Force user. Maybe she never wanted to tell anyone. Or it really could be like a big idea in the Star Wars franchise. This could be used for so many different possibilities, and some may include something with Rey. And don't get me crazy on this, but this would definitely make it so that Rey is a powerful being, and people would understand why she is a powerful being, because she's getting these Force user genes from either Padme or Padme's parents. So it explains why she's so powerful. It also is pretty cool that it's still technically the Skywalker family. So she's in the Skywalker family, even though she's not directly a daughter of Luke or anyone else important in that family, such as Leia or Han. But honestly, I have no idea what Disney's going to do with this. But we do know that Padme is either Force sensitive or she carried the Force sensitive gene. So, what do you guys think about this? I know this was a super long video, but I just really needed to get this out because I thought this is very important. Comment down below what you think of this, and I might even be exploring this more in the future. I'll be making a Rebels review probably tomorrow. I love the Rebels episodes. But for now, that is all. Please remember to subscribe, and if you enjoyed this video, which I really hope you did, please go like the video and comment your thoughts so I get to hear them. And that is all for today. This is Revenge of the Ren, signing off.